Man, they really should just hire us at this point.
I should. We'll give them a good
Or at
deal.
least pay us for our ideas. I would take that.
Yeah, just some tickets. A room at the Helios.
Yeah. Tickets, room at the Helios, maybe some annual passes at a discount or,
Uh,
free.
some t-shirts.
Yeah, nothing much. It's
Yeah,
just several $1,000s worth of tickets and merchandise. Welcome to episode 2 of The Adventure Lives On, an unofficial Universal Studios podcast.
This week, we'll talk about all the things we'd like to see added to the Universal parks and some things we'd like to get rid of.
Fast and Furious. Buckle up.
Grab you a cup of coffee.
And get ready to live the adventure in the Universal theme parks and beyond. All right. So this week's episode. Yes, so this is going to be, what's missing from the parks, our wish list of new things that we'd like to see added, maybe, changes to things that are already there, just anything they haven't done.
For me, first thing that comes to mind is the sorting ceremony.
Yes, I remember we talked about that not very long ago.
So an experience really where I would almost compare it to what they do with the monsters now at Epic that they kind of previewed at one of the other parks before Epic opened, kind of the makeover, but even more so. And yeah, just get sorted into your house, get your robes, get your wand, go through the Ollivander ceremony, and I would pay some serious money to.
I'm sure a lot of people would. That would definitely make it feel special. If you could be guaranteed to get your spot at Ollivander's, because I'm sure you're probably in the same boat, but I'm definitely one of those people that's like, I know it's going to go to a kid. It's a good thing for the sake of that kid having that great memory, but also, man, I'd really love to get picked.
I lucked out once. Did I tell you? I got picked.
You must have told me at some point, but that's still crazy to me.
I did. It was so cool. I mean, I was also going all the time, so it was gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, sorting ceremony sounds like a cool thing, though. Just trying to think. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the logistics of that would be interesting to try to figure out how they'd pull that off. Either if it would be such a limited thing or how they would get so many people through.
Yeah. I would think it would have to be set up in almost like a VIP tour. Just a really small group, and you sign up in advance. I mean, that's how I think I would do it. You sign up in advance, you do your online sorting, or even once it started, I guess you could do your sorting and go through kind of the Pottermore quiz or something similar.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't tell you what house you get. They just know. Because right now, a lot of the newer characters, which they could probably do this with the sorting hat, a lot of the newer characters, there's always a team member who has, not always, but a team member who has a tablet in front of them and the characters talk. So the tablet must have different words and phrases on it. So when you're interacting with the character, whoever has the tablet is over there making them respond to you.
Okay.
If they did something like that with a sorting hat, someone's over on the side controlling it with the iPad. Gryffindor!
It could definitely. That would be such an easy thing to do, just a hat with a speaker in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work really well. And I think you're right about it being a more exclusive sort of thing that maybe you'd pay extra for on the side. I think that would work much better because I feel like if it was the sort of thing that everybody in the park could just get in line for, that would be chaos.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. The line for that would be ridiculous.
It would have a longer wait than Battle at the Ministry.
Yes. I think you're right.
But you were saying inside...
picking out your uniform. Oh, yeah, the speaker. So even if they did it was so cool. Did two separate speakers, so a speaker on the inside that you could hear if you're wearing the hat, and a speaker on the
Mhm.
outside that everyone else can hear when you actually get sorted.
Oh, so it could talk to you like it did in the movies, but then it would
Uh-huh.
announce it to the
Yeah.
crowd what. I like the way you think. Okay.
Now let's
Almost
see if the
like, oh,
Universal people like the way we think. Maybe we'll get a
I
contract.
know it. I know exactly how they would do it. You do
How?
basically tiny, almost not exactly earbuds that go in your ears, but tiny speakers that come from the two little tassels that come down in front of your head that would be talking right into your ears.
Yeah.
And then the big speaker could be in the face, maybe even like a mesh over the mouth or the eyes where it would project out, or just
Mhm.
use the big, and if they have like big park speakers for announcements or for the music for the shows and stuff, even it can go through those.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to be able to do it. The Sorting Hat talks at the Hogwarts
Yeah, Forbidden
ride.
Journey.
Yeah. I was trying to call it Battle at Hogwarts. I'm always mixing up Harry Potter ride names.
uh, it kind of works though to mix them up. Like, um,
That too, man. Battle at the Hogwarts, escape from
Escape
Hogwarts.
from
It's
the
always
Ministry.
Hogwarts.
Gringotts and the Forbidden Journey. It
Yeah.
all works.
Yeah. They all just mesh together. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, and they could do a
Let's
tour of the castle during your ceremony.
as if it's like you're a new student and they're showing you
Yeah,
around, sort of. That's a cool idea.
that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Let's see. I know we've talked about several different ideas. I think a kind of an easy one to maybe get out of the way early is I really wish they would bring some of the character and creature interactions from the other parks, like Japan, over to here.
Hmm.
Because, or even stuff in Hollywood, like I would love nothing more than to get walk around characters like the Triceratops in Jurassic or the Hippogriff that they have at Studios Japan.
Yeah, Japan outdoes themselves.
They really do. They outdo all the other parks as well, and it's a shame we don't get some of that here. I saw a
I would love to
team
see more.
member. I know. I saw a team member in an Instagram video a while back who had an animatronic pygmy puff on her shoulder that blinked and made noises. It was.
I do like the Niffler and the owl they have that sit on your shoulders.
Yeah, I actually got the owl right up there. Or there.
The
There it is.
area is, or she is.
Yeah. I love that little thing.
And
Yes, I think that would be.
custom wand.
Ooh, custom wands. That's interesting. You're talking like hand carved? Because I don't know
Maybe. I
how
think that would take a lot.
I don't know how else they'd be customized unless there was some sort of like 3D printer farm set up backstage.
We could maybe do that. I think it would have to be something where you come back later, or either just one of a kind.
Oh, okay. Just so
That
every
could be
person who
cool.
got one would have something unique that nobody else has.
Hmm. They have started where I don't know if they paint on it or engrave it on the newer ones. You have to pay extra for it, obviously, but they did recently start doing that.
I heard something about engraving the wands. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, but you did just remind me. I don't know if you've seen this yet. They did release 3 more second gen wands within the last week or
Did
so.
they?
Yeah, so you know how they had the original 4, and then they had the new wand for
Uh-huh.
Epic, right? Like the Phoenix Arch. They now
Yes.
have interactive
Hmm.
second gen, like light up electronic wands for Dumbledore, Harry, and Hermione.
All right.
I saw one of them on
See if I
YouTube. I saw somebody have Hermione's wand and the tip glowed, and I was like, wait, that's not right. So I looked it up, and they said,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
they
new.
did. They just released Harry, Hermione, and Dumbledore. I'm honestly, unfortunately, I'm not much of a fan of the way they did Dumbledore's because the handle got a little chunkier. I think that's fine, but they didn't really make the rest of the wand proportionate to the handle, so it just looks a little off.
Mm.
The other two, from what I've seen, look good.
Trying to pull it up. Okay, well, I think I have a picture of it, but it's so blurry I can't even tell what they look like. I'm not having much luck finding them.
I found some
But
good
I believe
pictures on
you.
Reddit. I'll have to send them to you. But I just thought it was really cool that they're
Yeah.
already starting to work on the next ones.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see what else. I think the Phoenix one looks really cool. I hope they do more like that.
I'm sure they will. Let's see. Other additions to the parks. So I know. I guess we don't want to necessarily stay in the Wizarding World the entire time, but I know they do. So I know
We
they
could
do
though.
Death Eaters around Halloween. We definitely could. They do the Death Eaters around Halloween, which unfortunately I've never been able to see. I know we had talked at some point about other Wizarding World characters, maybe adding in like some escaped Azkaban prisoners in Hogsmeade, I think was something we had talked about.
That'd be cool.
Or just any other sort of dark witches and wizards, not necessarily Death Eaters, but people just dressed a little shadier, maybe walking around Nocturne Alley or Diagon Alley.
Yes, that'd be cool. Or even if the ones that are already there, they have the team members or the wizards who are in the areas of the parks where they have the interactive wand spots to kind of
Yeah.
show you what to do. It'd be cool if the ones in Nocturne Alley acted shadier.
Yeah, that would.
They're also so happy and they don't belong there.
Yeah, to a degree they have to be because, helping the guests and customer service and all that, but it would be cool if they leaned into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I really like what I've seen so far in videos and stuff of the new characters they have at Ministry. Like they have Aurors and they've got a few different students from some of the different wizarding schools, and I just think more of that would be good.
Yeah, I agree. What about rides?
That's a good question. I'm trying to see. I could have sworn I had a list of some of the things that I had in mind. Oh, I did. And almost all of it was Harry Potter related. Okay. Actually,
Surprise,
yeah, all of it was, and most of it was characters. So we can move on. Rides that they don't have. Oh, another one that I'd like to steal from another park would be. I'm blanking on where it's from. It's not from Japan. I think it was from one of the parks in China, maybe, if I'm remembering correctly. The Jurassic World Dark Ride there. I think I've probably sent you videos of it where you're in a ride vehicle almost more like Spider-Man. And you're going through the jungle. It almost feels a little bit like an updated version of Dinosaur from Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going through the jungle in this vehicle, and it kind of tells the story of the first Jurassic World movie. But the animatronics are incredibly well done. There's beautiful blending of screens and sets. And there's a point where the Indominus Rex, somehow, this full-sized animatronic Indominus, actually chases your car behind you. It runs at you, and you speed away from it. And then toward the end, they do a really cool thing where you pull into kind of the remains of one of the buildings on Main Street during the T-Rex and Indominus fight. So you pull into the building, and then through the open front door and through the windows, you're seeing screens that show them fighting in front of the water like in the movie.
Cool.
and it was just one of the best blends, I think, of practical and digital effects in a ride that I've ever seen.
Would be cool to see.
Yeah, if that was an addition or expansion to our Florida Jurassic area.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think you would prefer between the Jurassic Park River Adventure and the updated one in California, the Jurassic World?
Can I cheat?
Sure. I don't know how you cheat on that one.
I'd like to see the Jurassic Park River Adventure get refurbished.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
I think,
but I don't know the nostalgia of it though. I think if it was refurbished, it would lose some of that 1990s feel.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen some of the animatronics not do as much as they used to. Some of it looks like it could maybe use some fresh paint.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that.
But I just have such a connection to the original. Even though I've seen video of the new one, it does look really impressive for what it is.
It does.
I love the original River Adventure so much, especially as cool as the Mosasaur thing is in the beginning. Going through a tunnel with screens on both sides, to me, is not nearly as fun as floating past all those physical dinosaurs in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't argue with that. They can just add. They can add to it. There we go.
Yeah.
That's what's missing.
That's what I'm saying. Touch it up, and if they want to add things to it, they can. I heard part of the reason that we're supposedly not getting the upgrade or update from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World River Adventure is because the money that would have gone to that built Velocicoaster. I don't know if that's true, but I kind of hope it is, honestly. I'd like the classic River Adventure to stick around for a while.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I would prefer to stick around too.
Even more importantly for me, though, than the ride getting any changes or updates, top of my wish list is an overhaul or a renovation of the Discovery Center.
Yeah.
Because that place it's looking like it's been around since 93 and hasn't been touched because it really, for the most part, it hasn't.
It hasn't, no, except the part they added that's the kind of gift shop locker area for Velocicoaster. They really haven't done much. But I do really like how the middle of it looks like the Welcome Center in the original movie. So I think it'd be cool if they kept that. And I like the big doors. But it definitely needs an upgrade. Really just that downstairs area with the old dated dinosaurs.
Yeah, and am I crazy, or is there not a place to eat in there? Because not that I remember, upstairs. Right? Upstairs.
No, upstairs.
Okay.
Is it Burger Digs?
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe. I
think so.
Because I was going to say, if they hadn't, I guess maybe I haven't been upstairs, because I think anytime I've been with my family, we basically walked in and gone, well, this is mostly empty and outdated, and pretty much left. But because everybody just wanted to ride rides. But I was going to say, if they didn't have a restaurant, that would have been my next suggestion for that, is do the whole dining area from the movie with the big pretty stained glass window and all.
Yeah, and the food in there is not, I mean, it's just your standard hamburgers, chicken strips.
Like quick service kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Some Jell-O would be cool.
Some Jell-O would be cool. That would be a perfect dessert.
It would.
A green Jell-O mold with some kind of dinosaur like garnish on top or something.
Yeah. Or if they did the ice cubes that look like the ripples in the water.
Yeah.
And they do have different Jurassic Park themed beers. Which is cool.
Interesting. I don't drink, so I've never really paid much attention to that, but that is neat. Oh, they also could do an ice cream bar because all the freezers were down and they had to eat all the ice cream.
Why are they not thinking of
It
these things?
it writes itself. I mean, it's right here in front of us. I don't know why they haven't. They could really add like a slightly higher end sit down dining place inside the Discovery Center, and it would fit right in.
Mm-hmm. It would. It would, because there really isn't a good restaurant in that area. I mean, there's that one other restaurant that
No,
something Terrace, I think it's called. But that's still kind of quick
that
service
sounds.
type.
Yeah, it sounds vaguely familiar. I don't think I've ever really sat down to eat in that part of the park.
We don't usually. But the last time we were there, it was raining and we were waiting for Transit Flyers to reopen. So I was not going
Uh,
far.
yeah, I don't blame you. Trying to think of anything else
Right.
big that would be anything that comes to mind right away. I'm sure there are probably some things they could do in Superhero Island.
That's what I was going to ask you next. What would you like to see there?
Great minds think alike, I guess. Well, when you've known
Mm.
me for 15 years, of course you're going to know my
We do.
mind goes straight to
Yeah.
the superheroes. uh, okay. First thing, even though I know there are probably a lot of people out there who might get mad at me for this, update the Spider-Man costume. We can move beyond Party City. Hey,
I think his
I
costume is
love
one of the best of all of the costumes, which is
really
not saying much.
like
It's
that's
not
the
saying
thing.
much. Have you
I
seen thing one and thing two?
Yes, I
They look
was
like
going to go further
knockoffs.
than that. I was going to say that honestly most of the costumes need upgrading. But as much as like Spider-Man doesn't look bad and I do always have a good time meeting him, but I just
Mhm.
think about I'm not even talking MCU specifically, but I think about some of the costumes I've seen at Disney, especially having gone to Disneyland and seeing Avengers Campus. I'm like, Spider-Man's suit could be made of different fabrics. They could do textured webbing. He could have actual
Mhm.
lenses and frames on his mask. It looks like they basically just pulled a Party City costume, more or less. Like it's slightly more tailored to him, or decent shape at least. But I just feel like it could be so much cooler.
Yeah, they haven't updated any of the costumes. It feels like in several years.
Yeah, I don't think so. I also, I also think Cyclops is in at least my personal least favorite outfit of his. Because isn't he in the one that's like all blue and it's got his head covered?
Oh, I don't remember. It's been a while since I saw him.
I feel like that's the one I remember him
Long
in. I
time.
would really love to see more of the classic 90s look where he's got like the big pouches across his chest and his hair is all exposed, where it's just like the blue kind of up the sides with the visor.
I wonder if they can even make changes anymore to the costumes.
I feel like hmm, that's a good
Just
question.
because of the rights.
I think the main thing is just that they can't do anything MCU related and they can't use the characters that Disney World already has the rights to in Florida, like Guardians of the Galaxy or the Avengers.
Mhm.
So I think that's part of the reason I would assume why we don't have an Iron Man at Superhero Island.
That would be cool.
Yeah, especially to see like a classic Iron Man.
Hmm.
Daredevil would be neat. Also, more villains. Why couldn't they? You know what? That would be something. They should
That would be
have the villain roster
Doc Ock.
from Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Yeah, Doc Ock, Electro, Scream, and
Hmm.
Hobgoblin. I don't know how they'd do Hydro Man necessarily, but they should have those villains from the ride. I feel like that would make so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool to see. I wonder why they never did do that. Green Goblin and Doctor Doom are they're the only villains, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, there are so many heroes, and those are the only two villains we have. There's no Kingpin, there's no Doc Ock. I mean, obviously, some of these would be more difficult than others, but they could pull
Hmm.
something off. I'm sure they could do something with
Yeah.
Doc Ock somehow.
Yeah, he would be I like Doc Ock. He's probably my favorite of the villains.
Yeah, and I mean, Electro would be easy. Hobgoblin's, similar enough to Green Goblin. He's got a cape, different color outfit.
Eh,
They could pull that off. So that would definitely be a thing. The only other thing off the top of my head I can think of for Superhero Island would be probably better themed food.
yep, that was gonna be my next next one too. There's really
Okay.
no food there at all. I mean, they just have the um that one cafe with the hamburgers in it, and then pretzels and ice
Yeah,
cream.
the Fantastic Four Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's just hamburgers. Like they could do so much with that. Like I heard somebody on a Universal YouTube video the other night saying they should do like a Hulk smash burger, and I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah. Just take the same old regular hamburger. Oh, it's an all-American burger, and say that's themed.
That's themed to Captain America. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like okay, you could put a few more seconds worth of effort into that, I'm sure, and
Yeah.
I mean, heck, even just char or toast a four onto the top of the bun, and that's more theming than they already have.
Something.
It's not hard.
You know, I've I've kind of I don't want to say given up hope that they're gonna do anything with Superhero Island, but I've given up hope.
Kind of though. Yeah, it's a shame.
And Seuss Landing too, which is a bummer because I'm a big Seuss fan, and it just they haven't done much of anything with it in so long.
Yeah,
And those costumes are probably the worst in the whole park.
yeah, they're rough, and that's not exact.
That's
None of
putting it
those, for the
nicely.
most part, they're not exactly characters that I'm running to go hug and take a picture with.
No, they're creepy looking, even for adults.
They
They're
are.
creepy.
They really are. Like the only character I think they have right now that works for them is their Grinch during Christmas.
Hmm.
Everybody
And
else, I'm
the
like,
Lorax, I don't mind. Yeah,
hmm. I
no, I
think
agree.
I kind of vaguely remember Sam and his friend from Green Eggs and Ham not being awful.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah,
weren't as bad. I think the worst ones are the things. I don't know if
definitely.
any of the other ones are as creepy and old looking as those. Which really is a
Yeah.
bummer because you could do so much with the things. You get a couple of gymnasts in those and make it
Oh
similar to the
yeah.
Spider-Man suit. That'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm. They could be doing like cartwheels around the park.
Yes. And even during the parade,
Yeah,
how
that
they have on
too.
the floats, some of them that do the flips and stuff. This, I mean, that's how they were in the books.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they were in the movies.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
mean they
cool to
do that.
see.
They do that for the Madagascar float, but they can't give us that with Cat in
Yeah.
the Hat.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. More acrobatic things that don't look like they want to haunt your nightmares and eat your soul.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like those things almost belong on the Mummy.
Speaking of the mummy, what about? I mean, we've been in islands for so long.
For
What will we add
yeah,
to studios?
studios. Hmm.
A tour,
Yeah, that would be good.
similar to what they do at Hollywood in Hollywood.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, for a second I thought you meant VIP tour, and I was like, wait, do they only do that at islands?
Oh, no, something like the,
But
the
no, you're
studio tour,
talking.
backlot tour.
Yeah, like how they used to do at Hollywood Studios at Disney too.
Hmm.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
which would be some of the same stuff, I guess, that you would see in the VIP tour, but it wouldn't have to be an all day thing, just a quick, just like they do in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
like a couple hours, if that.
And I think back in the day, I think when the park first opened, they did do that. I
That
think.
wouldn't surprise me. That would make sense.
Speaking of that, bring Nickelodeon back.
Oh, yeah. I honestly forget that Nickelodeon was ever even a part of any of that.
I think about it every time I see the Blue Man Group, or well, I guess it's not even Blue Man Group anymore, building.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot all about that. I wouldn't mind a little bit more. I wouldn't mind a little more representation for Back to the Future somehow. I think that would be cool.
That would be cool. Because they only have the DeLorean. Don't really see anything else.
Well, the train, right?
In the train, yeah, the DeLorean in the train. But I've been seeing rumors that they're replacing Rip Rod Rocket with Ghostbusters. So I'm
Oh,
hoping they start to bring more of the classic stuff back.
that would be really cool. That'd be a neat way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see more classic movies come back to Universal instead of just focusing everything on all the Illumination movies.
hmm Yeah, the classics I think would be a big hit. You know, it'd be cool if this potential Ghostbusters ride that they did, it would be cool if it was an indoor and outdoor ride.
Mm. Kind of like how in Rip Rod Rocket it goes through. Yeah.
Yeah, but have part of it actually in a building, like test track.
Okay.
To have
Yeah,
part of test
yeah.
track inside and then you go out. I think that would be
Because
cool for
it could even start.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it could even start out in the firehouse.
Yeah. Uh, and then in Ghostbusters, they were doing some of that stuff underground through the sewer tunnels,
Yeah.
whatever, wherever they were, subway.
Oh, that would be so
So to
cool
go
if it
from
could
that
go like if
out,
go from the firehouse to be an underground, and then when it takes off outside, you could be going through the city chasing after ghosts.
yeah, that'd be cool. Just not another one of
That would
those,
be awesome.
what do you call them? Screen rides. Not another one of
Oh,
those.
where you all sit in a theater and they just kind of gently shake you around
Yeah, yeah. No, thank you.
like minions.
Like Minions, like Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be. I
Oh.
think I would be devastated. I would be crushed if they replaced Rip Rod Rocket of all things with one of those. I
Mhm.
think they know better. I hope.
I hope they've learned their lesson at this point after Fast and Furious was the flop that it was. And that's a lot of
Well,
screen, and it's
I
not like Jimmy Fallon and Minions, but the screens.
it's it's not quite in terms of the actual ride vehicle. It's not quite as simple as Jimmy Fallon and Minions, but I think we can agree it's worse than Jimmy Fallon and Minions.
Yes, yes,
I
it
will
is.
never miss an opportunity to take shots at that ride. But
Yeah,
I
oh,
do
stupid every time.
think, according to some rumors that I've heard, I think we're going to be okay because at least from what I heard a while back, the company who's building whatever they're going to replace Rip Ride Rocket with, I think was the same company who built Hagrid's, and
Mm,
maybe also Velocicoaster. I forget, but regardless, whatever it was that I had seen, I remember thinking, okay, so at least whoever's doing this, they're good at building intense coasters that are, worth waiting for and worth riding on.
that makes me feel better.
Yeah, it definitely put my mind at ease a little bit too.
And, I think we've kind of hinted at this in the different lands, but in general, I think I would like to see better themed food. And I'm thinking, thinking
Yeah.
of Ghostbusters, the Marshmallow Man,
Oh yeah, they
a
could do some
snack
kind of
that looks.
marshmallow dessert.
Yes, I would love to see more themed, which they did a pretty good job of in Epic. Uh, but I'm
That's what
hoping
I've
they start
seen.
bringing things like that to the other parks.
I hope so too. I just thought about it in the newer movies. You know, they have the mini Stay Puft Marshmallow guys.
Yes.
That would be such an easy thing to do with like one big marshmallow, and then you take some tinier ones, the mini ones, and you make the
Mhm.
legs and the arms. Right? They could do little treats like that. Maybe make them chocolate covered or turn them into like Rice Krispie type things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
That
you
would
could
be
do Rice
fun.
Krispies. That would be.
They
Hmm.
could do some kind of either like a drink or an ice cream float that's like an ecto cooler slime sort of, something bright green.
Yeah. See, that's I'm more of a fan of the fancy drinks than the fancy. I mean, I like to eat the fancy snacks and stuff, but
Yeah.
the fancy drinks, when you make a themed drink, give me a fancy cup.
I'm with you. I love a mocktail, especially in a souvenir
Yep.
cup. That's one thing I'm excited for at Epic. I'm like, I want to go to Burning Blade and I want to get the Monocaine mocktail that they have in the flask.
We did not go to Burning Blade. Just gotta go back. I know there's
Yeah,
a lot we didn't make it to. But I mean, I also remember I didn't do research before either. So we just, wherever we ended up is where we ended up.
that's true. I forget that y'all just kind of went in for it. I looked at
Hmm.
everything, so I'm like I'm over prepared. I almost have too many things in my head that I know I need to do.
Oh, you know what? I don't know why that reminded me of this, but maps. Bring back
Mm,
the paper maps.
yes. Not only is it nice to have and not have to use your phone for that or drain the battery, or especially if your battery does get low, but honestly, I also really liked collecting them every time I would go
Hmm.
at Disney and Universal because every year they would mix it up, or depending on the time of year you'd go, you might get a seasonal one.
Hmm. That and good fanny packs.
Oh, yep, I know you're a fanny
They
pack
don't make them
person.
like they used to. They don't make them like they used to. Not enough pockets, not adjustable enough.
And more options for fanny packs with wand holders because I think there's only one of those available right now.
Yeah, I think so. And I only remember seeing it in Epic.
Yeah.
Uh, But you don't even hardly see fanny packs in general anymore. I mean, I see a lot of the kid ones, I think, but as far as
Hmm.
adult ones go, it's more of those crossbody kind of bags that almost look like the old school camera
Oh,
case,
yeah. Hmm.
which you can't take on the rides.
That's true. Yeah, they really should be pushing the fanny packs harder. I've never personally been a fanny pack person, but it makes sense.
It's convenient.
Yeah.
Very convenient. I used to get made fun of for my fanny packs when we would go, even on van trip. People used to make fun of me about my fanny pack. And guess who was holding everybody's phones when we went on the rides?
Yep. None of that
Seven
surprises me.
phones shoved.
Yep. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, I've got a big question for you.
What you got?
Just assuming the possibility that this might happen one day with things that now have transferred over to Disney with Fox, what would you like to see get replaced, or what would you like to see replace Simpsons Land if that were to be a thing they did?
Hmm, that's a good question. Maybe a retro land where they
Like
put
centered
things
around
like
all the older movies,
Jaws,
or
Ghostbuster. Yeah,
that would
yeah, I
be
think I would like to
cool.
see that. And it's right by Men in Black, so that would flow well.
It would fit. Yeah, it would.
Mhm.
And they could bring back things like Twister or Terminator or
Yep. And even if it wasn't exactly the same, even if it was a spin on it, or even if it kind of
mhm.
combined some of them, I would like to see some more of the classic movies and things.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. Man, I was going to see if I had any other options, but I don't know if I can beat that. Yeah, I don't
Maybe
know.
Kong.
Yeah, I think the only kind of iffy thing about that is they just did the new Kong ride over at Islands. I had that thought because
Yeah.
I would love to see Kongfrontation or something,
Okay. Yeah.
related to it come back. But considering they have the other one now, I don't think they
No, you're
would.
probably right.
Hmm. Oh, I guess one thing I could slap on my wish list just for the fun of it is that they would tear down that building they have right now and build a good Fast and Furious ride.
Oh, they could have done so much with that. Why did we get what we got?
Even if it was just an intense roller coaster that had like a vaguely car themed,
Yes.
cars, vaguely like super
Yes.
like muscle car, sports car themed, that would have been better fitting of the Fast and Furious world and brand
Mhm.
than Party Bus with PS2 graphics and questionable acting choices.
Yeah. Right. I didn't mind the queue, but that's
The
the
queue was
only
neat.
thing in the whole ride that's even a little bit worth seeing.
The one kind of ridiculous thought that I had, if they wanted to keep that and lean into the party bus aesthetic of the actual ride itself, is I was like, they could also take advantage of another brand that they own that I know a lot of people are fans of. Is they could, I don't know how they would do it or how they would make it worth, telling a whole ride story about, but the only thing the party bus brought my mind to is Pitch Perfect.
Oh, that was a good movie. Well, they used to have the American, or was that a Disney World? Shoot, the American Idol.
Disney had the American Idol, yeah,
Okay.
in Hollywood Studios. Because I could see something where you're in the party bus and the whole theme is just centered around music. Maybe it could be borrow from Rock and Roller Coaster of like you're trying to get to an a cappella performance and there's just, different songs playing throughout the whole
Mhm.
length of the ride.
Get hit with a burrito.
Yeah, exactly. Have a burrito splatter on the windshield or something.
Yeah.
So, just a thought, Universal, if anybody there is listening.
Just tear down the ride.
Yeah, or that. Preferably that.
Wow.
Not to cross streams here, but tell us where the talking llama is and we'll burn your house to the ground.
It would also be nice to have an area for the kids to play.
Oh yeah, because there's Camp Jurassic and the Toon Lagoon area in Islands. Yeah, and there's basically nothing in studios, right? Or the comic strip wherever it is.
Yeah, well, the comic strip, I don't remember having anything for the
There
kids,
was there was
really.
something for. I mean, it wasn't much, but I think there it was like Popeye or Bluto's ship that you could go through and
Oh,
interact with stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Forgot
so
about that.
they have they have that. They've got Camp Jurassic, but yeah, there's nothing in studios really for the kids to do, unless Minions Land has added something since I've been.
DreamWorks Land.
Hmm.
They just added the whole DreamWorks Land,
Ah, okay. Is that
which
kind of
is really
where?
cool, actually. That's where
Is that
Barney
kind
used
of
to be at
by
ET.
ET? Yeah, where Barney was. Okay,
Yeah, so I guess we don't need more kid stuff. We got plenty now.
I guess not. Yeah, because I remember Barney was that whole area was closed down last time we went, but I didn't know what they were doing with it.
Hmm. Yeah, there's
Okay,
a
well that's
like
cool.
kids roller coaster, the Troller coaster.
Oh, I've heard about that one. Yeah.
You can meet Shrek and Donkey, so they moved Shrek and Donkey back there.
Oh, because Shrek's not in the theater anymore.
Yeah, he's at the swamp.
Okay. Right. I'm trying to think what else could there be in studios. Honestly, I also wouldn't mind Jimmy Fallon being replaced with something else.
Yeah, everyone loved that one either.
I don't know what they would put there in the New York area.
They should have just left Twister.
Oh, yeah.
I like Twister. I don't know, the New York area, I get it for filming purposes, but I wouldn't mind seeing that whole area changed.
Yeah, because like the Mummy doesn't even necessarily really fit in with that.
No. But don't
Like,
touch the
yeah, it's
mummy.
kind of vaguely. No. The Mummy absolutely should stay. If the Mummy goes, I think you and I and hopefully lots of other people will riot.
We're
But
boycotting.
yeah, at least studios. I might still go to Islands, but
Yeah.
or Epic. But aside from the beginning of the Mummy queue being like vaguely museum themed, it really doesn't fit with New York. And I think the only other real appeal of that area is that Marilyn Monroe comes out over there.
Yeah, and the Blues
And
Brothers.
that kind of and Blues Brothers, yeah. But aside from that, I don't know. I think if we let's say hypothetically we turn Simpsons Land into your retro movie appreciation section,
Mm-hmm.
then if we already have that covered, what does New York become?
I don't know. All of my thoughts are retro ones.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you.
Maybe something spooky.
That would be cool, although I feel like that would be sort of almost like competition with Dark Universe.
Well, Dark Universe though is the classic monsters, so if they did it different, didn't use classic monsters, but something else.
Like any other scary properties they own.
Because I mean, it's right there by the Mummy. So what else might fit
Yeah.
with that?
Hmm.
And back to Island, so that area and the oh shoot, I'm blanking on what it's called, where Poseidon's Fury was. Lost Continent.
Oh, Lost Continent. That's true. We didn't even talk about that because they definitely need to do something with that, whether they retheme it or finally put something back in the stage or the Poseidon's Fury area.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lost Continent's not around much longer.
And I saw they had it decorated recently, or I think it's online. It looked like they had it decorated with some of the dragons from Burke. So I wonder if they're gonna try and
Hmm.
do something with How to Train Your Dragons there, if that was just a temporary thing while Epic was opening.
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
What would you replace them
Yeah.
with? What would you put in New York?
Ugh. What would I put in New York? I mean, it goes against the Rip Ride Rocket idea, but my first thought would have been Ghostbusters if we were going to not completely, scrap it.
Hmm. Yeah, but then that also fits with the classics.
Right. And then also, we'd need a lot more in New York than just Ghostbusters and the Mummy, right?
Hmm.
There would need to be at least one other thing, probably.
Yeah, I think so. And that whole area is mostly just shops anyway, and the only ride is the Mummy.
Yeah, and then Transformers is kind of nearby. Well,
Yeah,
depending on which way you go.
which way? But you know what? Actually, that whole street, there's not much at all on that whole street. But yeah, all right, back to Lost Continent.
Yeah, that's a lot of just the New York area is just a lot of facades mostly.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think more about Lost Continent because I feel like there's got to be more potential there than there is in New York.
What might be cool? So I like Mythos. I like the theming of it. If they turn that
Hmm.
whole area into Olympus, I think that would be
Hmm.
cool. And it ties in loosely with the celestial area of Epic.
Yeah, maybe give it a new backstory that ties into that. That would be cool because it's just right now it seems like it's just generally sort of adventure themed. It's not all specifically Greek.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be cool to kind of make that whole theme more cohesive and tie it all together. That's an interesting idea. I'm also a little surprised. I guess there's not much they could do, but that there's not really any kind of ride in that area. I mean, we had Poseidon. That was as close as you get, I guess.
Yeah. Wonder what they're going to do with that. Well, and they had Sinbad.
Yeah, the Sinbad show as well.
So I wonder what they're going to do in those two areas. If they're going to replace that whole land, or if they're going to expand Hogsmeade and just make the Harry Potter area bigger.
I don't know. I wonder how they would even do that.
Is the Hogwarts Express entrance is on the outside of the Hogwarts entrance.
Yeah, but I'm also just thinking if they were to expand the Harry Potter theming all the way to Lost Continent, I mean, the entrance to Hogsmeade is still way down there on the other side of the Hogwarts Express. So I'm not sure what exactly they would do unless it was sort of like a Forbidden Forest type area. I don't know.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Although part of me is instantly regretting I said that because I feel like the go-to thing would be, oh, giant spiders. I'm like, no thanks.
I would welcome the giant spiders.
I know you would. And then I would be walking next to you after we pass through port of entry being like, are we there yet? Are we in Hogsmeade yet? Did we get there?
Just be worse than Ron.
Head down. Just head down the whole way. Oh, yeah. 100%. I'm going to be following the butterflies straight through the gates to Hogsmeade.
I don't think they would expand. I'm kind of with you. I don't think they would expand Harry Potter. I think it'd be something different.
Yeah, I think their whole plan for expanding Harry Potter ended up becoming Ministry over an Epic.
Yeah.
Because I remember at one point there was talk of the Ministry ending up where Fear Factor used to be.
Oh.
At least that was the rumor that was going around for a while. That's another good question. Man, there's all kinds of stuff they need to make better use of, isn't there?
I mean, I'm glad they spent their time on Epic.
Yeah, definitely. It seems great. I can't wait to go. But yeah, don't take that the wrong way if anybody's from Universal.
Yeah, right. The shows they do at Horror Nights, I think are really cool. And if they did, maybe not Fear Factor, because that, I don't know, that for me got old quick. But to do some cool type of show back in that Fear Factor area would be cool.
Yeah, and they've also got the animal actors area that I believe they're not using anymore.
Oh, they're not?
I feel like a while ago I heard that they were shutting that down. I could be wrong, but let me double check that because I don't think they are doing that.
It wouldn't surprise me. And those are some big areas.
They are. That's what I'm saying. There's got to be, there's so much they could do with that land.
Too bad we can't shift it all around.
I know. We could make enough room that we could stick all the retro movies and classic monsters and stuff all right next to the Mummy.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just pick up half the park and just move it somewhere else.
Yeah. If only. Maybe in the future we'll be able to manipulate that way.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. We've talked a good bit about... what's up?
The model that they had of Epic. Remember I sent you the picture of it? It was in the City Walk.
Yeah.
You could just pick them up and move them, and the park would move with it.
Yeah, just play Tetris with the miniature buildings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a bad idea. It's worth a shot.
Yeah, worth a shot. The laws of physics mean nothing.
No. Everything's made up. It's just a suggestion.
Oh, yeah.
But I was going to ask, so we've talked a good bit about rides at this point. We talked a little about characters. What other kind of experiences do you think they could bring outside of just the rides? You were talking shows a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge show person, but I would maybe like to see
Either.
a cool, entertaining show. Maybe even something that changes. Remember they used to have Beetlejuice? Or I don't think it was just Beetlejuice. I think Frankenstein was in it too. The Graveyard Review.
Oh, yeah, I never got to see that, but I heard about it.
I don't want them to bring that back. Um, but uh, it's just some kind of show that changes and is entertaining, I think would be cool. And
Yeah.
more kind of, I don't want to say exclusive, but where you can do small groups. So you know how you can do the behind the scenes tours of Men in Black and the Mummy and when someone's available, if you're there at the right time with the right number of people. If
Yeah.
they did something, it wasn't the full blown VIP tour, but it was just an abbreviated where you just do that or certain time of day. If you go to the ride, it's like showtime. You show up at 10 a.m. and you can tour Men in Black.
Okay. That's a cool idea.
Or
The only thing...
training. All right, wait, you go first, and then I'll say this one.
Oh, I was just going to say, in terms of shows, the first thing that came to my mind would be maybe take advantage of things like some of the cool dinosaurs that they've come up with, whether it was the babies or like the raptor suits, the triceratops, do something almost like what they had in Jurassic World in the movies, like how they did the Mosasaur show. Maybe there could be like raptor training.
Mm-hmm.
I know they kind of do something like that at Hollywood, but imagine if it's in an actual sort of amphitheater and they could add, effects and things to it, and they could bring out bigger dinosaurs.
You know what else? So before I saw the horror makeup show for the first time, I thought they were gonna actually show you how they apply the makeup, and I really liked
That's what
the
I
show.
always thought.
But I was disappointed that that's not what they did. If they did something like that, even if they pulled someone up from the audience and applied horror makeup to them, I think that'd be really cool.
Yes. Yeah, even kind of leaning into that a little bit more. I know you kind of mentioned the idea of like a backstage type tour, but yeah, leaning into that, some kind of show or tour or something that really went into sort of the behind the scenes of the special effects of movies, even if it's not the modern stuff necessarily, if it talks about how they used to do everything in camera practically.
Yeah.
Like the vest people would wear for bullet hits when they got shot in movies, or how they controlled different things like, big explosions and things like that. Miniatures and puppets and...
That would be cool.
That would be so
And they
cool.
could have a rotation where like they
could
do 3 different types, and that's something I would like to see.
That would be really cool. Man, now I want that.
I'd like to see that. Some of the stuff we're bringing up that we want to see is stuff they used to kind of do and they got rid of.
Yeah, I guess a lot of our wish list is bring back the stuff.
Bring back the old stuff. Because Twister, there was kind of, they showed you how they did that. You saw the setup and takedown, like kind of between scenes almost. And the disaster ride.
Yeah.
Same kind of concept. And then they had, was it part of Disaster Ride? Where they would film people? I think so. And it was like they were filming in front of the live audience almost. I think that was part of Disaster Ride.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, a lot of this that we want is stuff that just bring back the old stuff. So that's the verdict.
I think so.
Bring back the old stuff.
I think we're just nostalgic for the stuff we didn't get to see.
Yeah, or see enough.
Yeah. The other one that I just thought of. So we were talking shows a little bit. Obviously, they had Sinbad for a while. There was some cool stuff in there. Some of it felt like it was more aimed at kids, but it was a good time to at least see it once. But along those lines, that made me think, why couldn't there be a cool superhero stunt show like Spider-Man swinging across stage, or
That's a good one.
right? That's where you could have your Doc Ock with the giant puppeteered tentacles, stretching across the stage to reach out at the other characters, or you could have Hobgoblin on a glider. Because if they can do stuff like, I was just gonna say, if they can do stuff like the How to Train Your Dragon show now, where they have full size dragons, like I saw a video of Hiccup flying on Toothless across the audience, like over the stage.
Wow.
If they can do stuff like that now, they absolutely could bring those Marvel characters to life, even if they kept more of like the cheesy 90s retro style.
Yeah. And what would be cool too if they did that in a way similar to the stunt show in the one that used to be in Disney, the car stunt show, where they showed you how they did the stunts.
Yeah,
If
was
they
it
showed
the
you
Lights
how the
Motors Action?
superheroes, yes, that's the one. That's what I learned, that the backwards driving cars weren't actually driving backwards.
Yeah.
But if they did something like that with the superheroes to show you this is how they do it when they're filming, this is how Spider-Man's able to swing with the web.
Oh, like Indiana Jones. That's what they did with Indiana Jones.
They did.
Yeah, because it wasn't
Or maybe
just...
Universal needs to take some notes from Disney.
Yeah, it was like they were filming an Indiana Jones movie, and they'd break down each stunt, and then they'd be like, all right, that's that scene, let's reset for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
Something
be cool.
like that with superheroes would be cool.
And that would get kids' butts in seats, and they'd be happy to see the superheroes flying all over the place.
Uh-huh. And the grown-ups would like the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. And they really should just hire us at this point.
They should. We'll give them a good deal.
Or at least pay us for our ideas. I would take that.
Yeah. Just some tickets. A room at the Helios.
Yeah. Tickets, room at the Helios, maybe some annual passes at a discount, or, free.
Some t-shirts.
Yeah, nothing much. Just several $1,000s worth of tickets and merchandise.
Nothing.
Crazy. Well, I don't know. I was going to ask this, but I don't know because you haven't spent much time. I was going to ask something totally unhinged and say, is there anything you'd want to change or add to Epic? Taking big swings. Because rumor is they've got room for 2 more portals.
Oh.
Because they've got expansion area. That's why it's so far away. They've got room for expansion. And I saw in a video the other night that on the front gates, they have the tokens that represent each portal and kind of where they are in the land. And then they've got 2 empty holes, the same size, on either side of the gate.
Oh.
So there's room to add more things. What would your 2 dream portals be?
Oh. Man.
I know that's a big question.
That is a big question. Okay, so first one, what I keep going back to is the classic stuff. You have classic monsters. Let's do classic everything except monsters. Put an area where you're going to have Jaws and Ghostbusters and all the good old days stuff would probably be one of my 2. The other, oh man, I don't know. There's a lot. It's too many options.
It is. I'm just trying to think.
Maybe Jurassic World.
That was going to be my next thought, is I don't know about anything new that they don't have, but kind of how they did with Ministry, and the other Harry Potter sections, that was going to be my next suggestion, is maybe that's how we get our Jurassic World instead of having to redo Jurassic Park.
As long as it's as well done as the other stuff in that park.
I'm sure it would be, but I like the idea they could fully commit to, like, you're on Main Street in the park and the Discovery Center there actually is what it was in the movie, and you have all the restaurants down that main strip, and there could be like a ride on either side of it.
Yeah, I think that would be nice. I'd like that. And you know what? At Epic, I would add more coffee shops. When we're on vacation, we drink so much coffee. They have Starbucks and they have the French place that had some coffee and pastries, I think, in the Harry Potter area. But I think that was the only. There's no.
The cafe.
From what I could see in my research, there's no specialty coffees. There's no special, nothing special. Which really there's not that I can think of in islands. It's just in studios that they have the Today Show Cafe.
Yeah, you're right. Is there even any coffee in islands?
Starbucks.
They do have Starbucks. Okay, I guess I've only just recently even started drinking coffee, so I guess I've never paid much attention to the Starbucks. But yeah, that's a good point, because
they could do so many different flavored themed coffees. Butterbeer coffee.
Oh, you said the magic words. I'm actually kind of amazed that the cafe in Paris doesn't do that.
I didn't notice it, but again, everything on the menu was in French, so it may have been there and I just didn't notice it.
That's always
I was more
possible.
looking for the butterbeer crepes.
Yeah. I don't remember hearing anything about it, but as long as we get to go to Epic whenever we go, I will keep an eye out for it. Which, I guess that's maybe something I should mention, is that maybe something I should mention on here is that there's a pretty good chance as of right now that I'm going to be going back in January and possibly spending a couple days at Epic. So we'll have a lot more things to talk about regarding Epic once both of us have been.
Yes, and I may crash a trip.
You're more than welcome. I will make room in a suitcase.
I'll meet you there.
However we get you there. Okay. I was going to say, though, you've really got me thinking about this Jurassic World idea now. And, like, I could already see, almost like in Super Mario World, imagine if you're on the sort of like the monorail type platform, maybe there's stairs going down from the portal. I could see that being a thing where you go on, basically almost like a balcony, you take the stairs down, and there's the water, like where the Indominus got dragged in by the Mosasaur. And then you could see straight down all the way to the Discovery Center, all the way at the end.
That would be cool.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They could do I don't know how they would do it, but they could do a gyrosphere ride.
That's what I was just thinking in my head. Yeah, if they could do a gyrosphere, even if it wasn't real.
I was going to say, even if it was something screen-based and they did it almost like Flight of Passage, I think it could be really cool.
Yeah.
To be able to put all the dinosaurs around you.
I think they could probably do it on some kind of a track, though.
Probably.
Even if they made like one big gyrosphere and then had it move almost like the ride vehicles that they use for Kong and the ride, which shall not be named.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it wouldn't.
Because I'm just trying to think, like they could
do it.
They could do it. I'm just thinking, like, I could imagine if it's on a track, basically you're sitting in the middle, and let's imagine that's mounted to the track, and you've got your glass in front of you. Even if they made it so that was just stationary as you move through, but maybe the panels on the sides spin to give you the illusion that you're rolling through.
Yeah. And you have to get hit by like a triceratops or something.
Oh, you got to get knocked around for sure. Yeah. Either like an ankylosaurus tail bumping you in the wrong direction or something.
Yeah.
They
like
could
in
have
the
a lot
River
of fun
Adventure.
with that. Yeah. Yeah, where the parasaur pops up and knocks you off course. Also, is it just me? Or as much as I love River Adventure, there's always a part of me that's like, man, I wish we could just go on the rest of the actual tour that they had planned.
Yeah, I wish
Like
that was an
I
option.
want to
But it's
see.
cool if it was random.
Oh, if you didn't know which way you were gonna go.
Maybe you get to go to the lagoon. Maybe the T-Rex is gonna get.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fun idea. I like that.
Universal's paying the wrong people.
Yep.
We would go through the budget in about 7 minutes.
We would, but we'd come up with so many ideas they could use. I also really, I've said this for years, as much as I do love Forbidden Journey, I really wish there was some way that you could get people on a ride where you'd actually feel like you were riding on a broom. Like, I want to sit forward in my seat and hold on to the handle of a... Kind of, yeah, but even that's bulkier than
Tron.
what I'm thinking. Tron is also similar. I thought of that one as well. But something where you sit forward and could actually be holding onto the handle of a broom and feel like you're flying through, whether it's a roller coaster, a screen, or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be a major thing.
That would be. What are they doing?
Again, I love it. It's, you say that, and it sounds like we're so disappointed and disinterested with everything they've got going on.
With
like
our favorite place on the planet.
I know. We're only doing an entire podcast about it, but
yeah,
it's like they're doing so much right, but there are so many things that seem like such obvious fits for the park that I'm just amazed they haven't. And maybe they have considered it, but I don't know.
Right, it makes you think.
The only other thing that I know has been on my mind probably since Epic was announced is I'm amazed they don't have some kind of experience somewhere in the park that makes you feel like you're inside of Newt's suitcase.
That's a missed opportunity.
That seems like the most obvious Fantastic Beasts tie-in is some sort of walkthrough attraction, maybe, where you get to see all of the different magical beast enclosures and walk through Newt's shed.
Now the show, and I have not watched videos. I know almost nothing about the show that is in Paris, but it seems like that's similar. You walk into the small circus tent, and now you're in the big show with all the different creatures.
Yeah, they do the sort of magic tent, bigger on the inside thing. From what I've seen. I haven't seen videos of the whole show. I have seen some pictures and some very short clips. Yeah, it is very magical creature centric, which I'm very excited about.
So maybe that was the way to have that effect without having to try and figure out how to get people into a suitcase.
Yeah, but and I'm sure it'll blow my mind when I see it, but there's just something about that suitcase that I love, just the feel of it. I know for a while there was a VR experience that I really wanted to try, but that's been shut down now.
Oh, VR experience at Universal?
No, there was like a VR game essentially that you could get on your own personal headset where you could wander through different enclosures. Okay. But eventually they shut it down, I guess, because they didn't want to keep paying to keep it active or who knows what.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I found out recently.
Yeah, you go ahead. Found out recently.
Oh, no, about the VR. That's all I was saying. Yeah.
Okay. If they had some kind of interactive element, which I guess in a way they do now with the new wand, since there's points or games or something with it.
Hmm.
But some kind of interactive element to being in the wizard world, almost like you've got teams or something. You scan in your house on the app and
House points essentially is.
yeah, earn house points from some kind of way. I think you can with the new wands, but I don't know what all goes into that. If it's just where you're using wand or if there are other games associated with it.
What would be cool as a way to sort of give you an incentive would be if there was something along the lines of like whatever house as a collective in the park gets the most points for the day, maybe their house colors get projected during the castle show or something.
Yeah.
As if like you've got to compete with everybody else to take over the castle at the end of the night and see your house crest projected,
Hmm.
with all the banners and everything.
Yeah, that'd be a neat way to do
Just
it.
a I just an idea off the top of my head. I don't really
Hmm.
know what else they would
Yeah, that's a good
incorporate.
one. I've never seen the castle show.
Really?
Yep, I've seen it.
Huh. It's really cool. I've seen it twice at least. I think I've seen I'm pretty sure I've seen it once, I think middle of the year, and then once at Christmas where they do all the Christmas lights and project snow on
Hmm.
it and stuff. It's really neat. It's definitely worth seeing at least once.
Yeah, I'm surprised I never did with how often I was going for a while there. Yeah, never
Me
did see
too.
it.
Hmm.
One day.
Yeah. I guess that kind of reminds me, I almost wish there was more outside of the shopping in Diagon Alley. I don't know really what else there would be, and I know they have a couple of shows. But I'm trying to think if there's something else they could add to that park would be kind of neat. I just don't know what. Because they've got Celestina Warbeck, and then they have the puppet show with the Tale of the Three
Hmm.
Brothers.
Hmm.
Just don't know what else they would do.
Mini games.
Hmm.
Call people on stage for.
Like some other opportunity to win points in the app.
Yep,
Okay.
fun.
Interesting. What kind of games do you think that would be?
I'm thinking minute to win it style, but wizard. Like if Wizards which played
Hmm.
minute to win it, what would the games look like?
That's an interesting kind of problem to think around because obviously a lot of it would involve using the wands. It would be all magic based.
Hmm. So is there a
Hmm.
screen and the wand interacts with the screen?
Something you're doing in the windows of one of the shops, maybe.
Hmm.
Interesting idea. Huh.
I'd be interested to see what the people who work for the parks come up with. Because there are so many ideas that they're coming up with that aren't getting implemented.
Oh yeah, I would love to see their whiteboards and their
Hmm.
folders full of ideas on their computers, the
Yeah.
stuff that doesn't get used.
Hmm. It'd probably be really sad.
It probably would. The number of things that were like, oh, we could have had this.
Uh-huh. Instead of Fast and Furious, you had this plan and
Thank
you
you,
gave us Fast and Furious.
thank you for that. We had to get in
It's
at least one more
probably
jab at that ride.
that might be all we got for now.
Yeah, I think we've maybe kind of
I,
exhausted all of our ideas.
for now, give us another couple hours and we'll come up with some more, I'm sure.
Yeah, and especially maybe we should revisit this after we go again.
Yes. Yeah, we
I'm
absolutely
sure we
should.
could think of new things.
Hmm.
We should start keeping a list on our phones while we're in the parks. What could they do
Yeah.
better? What are they not doing?
Hmm.
Just walk around nitpicking everything. That would be.
Everything. And you know what I do want to try that I'm so glad they did, and I haven't been able to do it yet, is the escape rooms. because we didn't even get into what we would change in City Walk.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about City Walk.
Yeah. So that might have to be a whole nother episode. We're already at an hour and a half.
Okay, yeah, we could do a whole City Walk episode at some point. I'd be good with that.
Add that to the list.
But yeah, I was excited. I saw the escape rooms for the first time a couple days ago, maybe on a YouTube video, and I immediately thought of you. I was like, that would be a fun thing we could do together.
Yes. Yeah. So if I do end up meeting you there, we'll take your mom and let her lead the escape effort.
That would be something. Honestly, that would probably be a good thing to do with the 5 of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would
That'd probably be a good size group for something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, we'll have to keep that
We'd
in
have
mind.
to decide if we'd have to do both of them. We wouldn't be able to choose just one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if it's going to be a while till we go back again, we'd have to know what they both are.
Yeah. Because they said they would change,
and then we can talk about
so
them on
far they haven't. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they were. I mean, I guess it makes sense they would change them because as often as some people do go, especially locals. But I hadn't thought about that.
Which I'm not ready for that yet. We have to get through the first round of them first before they go and put something else in there.
Well, I guess, are we ready to call this one?
Yeah. Till next time.
All right. And cue outro.
Yeah.